न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः। हरिः ओम्। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाकिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासीं कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम् अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्. For the last 2 days we have been speaking on the life of Sankaracharya, Sankaracharya Katha, Jiva Charitra. So yesterday we saw how Shankara came to Omkareshwara on the bank of Narmada and met Govinda Bhagavad Pada. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, you should attain jnanam. All the sufferings are due to ajnanam, ignorance. Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Jnanena tu tadajnanam esham nashitam atmanaha tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. So, when ajnana is removed by shravana, manana, nididhyasana, pure knowledge of the self arises, atmajnana arises, and which removes the ignorance, like the splendorous sun removing darkness. How will we attain jnanam? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshyandi te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. This is the vidhi. If you want to attain jnanam, you have to approach a guru. And the guru Lakshana is also there. In Shruti also says that Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. And the same Lakshana is being spoken by Bhagavad-pada also in Vivekachudamani. We have to see that. Shrotriyo avrajinaha akamahataha yo brahmavittamaha brahmanyuparata shanto nirindhanaivanalaha ahetuka daya sindhuhu bandhuhu anamatam satam shrotriyaha avrajinaha akamahataha yaha brahmavittamaha. The teacher should be a Shrotriya. That is the first sign. Shrotriya means one who knows what the Shruti says. Shruti means the Upanishads, the Vedas. Mainly the Vedanta, the Upanishad. And Purva Paksha Veda, Purva Mimamsa Veda Bhaga also should be known, so that you know the preparatory road. So Avrajinaha, the sinless one, Akamahataha, not hurt by desires. If the Guru is full of desire, even if the Guru is a scholar, the teaching will not have any effect. So the Guru will be desiring what will the Shishya bring. So Shrotriyaha Avrajinaha Akamahataha Yo Brahmavittamaha, the knower, supreme knower of Brahman, is not simply knowing and ruling the kingdom like Janaka. Janaka is also a great teacher, but what is expected when you go to a teacher purely out of spiritual purpose is Brahmanyuparata Shanta. He is ever immersed in Brahman and he has so much time. So Uparata. Uparati means completely retired, no other work other than when a disciple goes teaching him, giving him this knowledge, no other work. So such a teacher I should get. Brahmanyuparataha Shantaha. He has found that supreme peace. The whole world came to Bhagavan for what? Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, why did they came? What is special about him? Only peace. Absolute peace, radiant peace, Shanti. When Tapovan Maharaj came here to see Bhagavan, he said, I got the recognition that peace is Brahman, peace is Mukti, Shanti is Mukti, Shanti is Jnanam, Shanti Shanti Brahma Shanti Saagat is the word. So that glimpse I got. So that was Shantaha Nirindhanaivanalaha. Certain people will look peaceful, but it is like we don't know when the fire will come out. So there should not be no fuel. Vasana Nirvāsana Maunam. That is the word. No Vasana there. The Mauna is absolutely safe. So Nirindhanaivanalaha Ahaituka Daya Sindhu. Without any expectation, he is compassionate. He is able to help the disciple to cross samsara. When the disciple goes to the master with samsara bhiti, fear of samsara, dukkha, the Guru says, do not fear. Ma bhaishta vidvan tavanasti apayaha. You do not have any danger. Samsara sindhoho tarane asti upayaha. There is a way to cross this samsara samudra. That is not something which I have discovered or invented. Yenaiva yataha yatayosya param. So many sages have walked that path. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. The same path I will instruct, I will show to you. You can also walk and become free. So such a teacher is needed. So Sankaracharya got the news and went to Narmada and met Govinda Bhagavat-pada. And in the presence of such a teacher is a wonder. The Upanishad itself, Shruti itself wonders about such a Brahmanishta. Asharyo Vakta. And the disciple who has all the prerequisites, who is ready to receive that knowledge, is also an Ashcharya. He is really skillful. Asharyo Vakta Kushalosya Labdha. Āścaryo Jñāta Kushalanusishtaha. In the first line, Shruti says the teacher is a wonder, the disciple is very skillful. And the second line, the Shruti says the teacher is very skillful, the disciple is a wonder. The disciple goes there, he goes to teacher for what? To take the jnana, not anything, no distraction. Without any distraction, sometimes only by an indication, the disciple takes. Kuriyad kurittu ariyum neri. In Arunagirinathar says, just like Dakshinamurti showed like this, the disciples got realization. Chinmudra. So even without uttering a word, even from the state of the master, the disciple receives the knowledge. So that how is it possible? Hauvar arivar arigindradalal. Only those who know it in that way, only they will know. Evvar oruvarku ishai vippaduve. How to transmit this other than that way? So that way, when Sankaracharya approached Govinda Bhagavad Pada, he attained the highest wisdom, and yesterday we saw how he wrote the Daśaśloki, Nirvāṇa-Daśakam, the 10 verses. And how did he look at the teacher? At least he should have given us some pen picture. How was Govinda Bhagavad Pada? He says, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmya. I worship, I do pranama to that Govinda Bhagavad Pada, and I have seen Govinda Bhagavad Pada not with the eyes but with the Upanishad. Only that way you can see a Brahmanishta. When you look at the Brahmajnani with the eyes, you will see the body. You can say he is slim, he is very fat, he is wearing only a loin cloth, kaupina or kashaya, something you can say. You are looking at the body, you are not looking at the real jnani. When one sannyasi came to Ramanacharanatirtham and he was so fascinated by Bhagavan. His name is Amartanatha Yatindra. Looking at Ramana Maharshi, he was fascinated. He felt, who is this? Is this Shiva? Is this Subramanya? Is he Sanat Kumara? So he wrote a verse in Malayalam asking Bhagavan, Hariyo, Shiva Guruvo, Yativarano, Arivanuru Kutukam, Mama Hridaye Guru Mahima. Who is this Guru? Hariyo, Shiva Guru. Shiva Guru is Subramanya. Shiva Guruvo, or some Yativara. Yativarano, Arivanuru Kutukam Mama Hridaye Guru Mahima. I want to know, there is inquisitiveness in my heart to know who is this Guru. And he wrote that in a paper and kept before Bhagavan. Bhagavan took the paper. Behind that paper, he wrote in Malayalam first, then translated in Tamil. Hariyadi Tarajivara Ahavarija Guhail Arivairami Paramattuman Arunachala Ramanan Parival Ulamuruganala Paranarndidum Guhayarnd Arivam Vili Tiravai Nijam Arivai Adu Veliyam. Who is Arunachala Ramana? He is the Atma, that Shuddha Chaitanya, which is in every creature, in every Deva, even in Vishnu, Shiva, everywhere the same Atma is shining. That Atma is Arunachala Ramana. To know Arunachala Ramana, how can you know Arunachala Ramana? Not by looking like this. You turn inward and see your own self. In Gita, Krishna says, Arjuna, you want to know who I am? Aham Atma Gudakesha, Sarva Bhutashaya Sthita. I am the Atma in every heart. If you want to know me, you have to know me by turning the attention inward and looking at your own self. So that is how you can really know the Guru also. So Govinda Bhagavad Pada should be known by the Upanishads, by Manana, Nididhyasana, Sakshatkara, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam. Agocharam. You go, oh, I have seen Ramana Maharshi, I have seen this great sage, saint, what did you see? He was sitting, monkeys were there, peacocks were there. All that you can say. Kunju Swami used to say, when devotees used to tell him, do namaskara, he will say, don't do namaskara. Namaskara is all for Bhagavan. He will say, no, you have seen Bhagavan. Then Kunju Swami will say, I have not seen Bhagavan, nobody has seen him. He is not a thing which can be seen. நாங்கள்லாம் பார்க்கவே இல்லை, அவர் பார்க்கப்படுற பொருளே இல்லை. So, that is the way a real disciple looks at the master. He is not something which I can see with the eyes or with any other senses. He is that Shuddha Brahmavastu. Brahmaveda Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman is Brahman. So, that way looking at Govinda Bhagavad Pada, Sankaracharya said, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam. Who is that Govinda? Is Paramananda Swarupa. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Ananda is Brahma. So he is Paramananda Swarupa. Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. That Sadguru, that Paramananda Swarupa I am bowing. In the presence of the teacher, Sankaracharya attained that highest jnanam, and when Guru asked, what is your state? He said, Na Shasta, Na Shastram, Na Shishyo, Na Shiksha, Na Chatvam, Na Chaham, Na Chayam Prapancha. Swarupa Avabodha Vikalpa Asahishnu Tadeko Vashishta Shiva Kevalo. I am that Shiva. I am that pure awareness which is devoid of the teacher, the disciple, the world, mother, father, brother, scripture. Everything was removed. All these are Vikalpa. Anything other than itself is Vikalpa. In fact, I myself is a Vikalpa. In everyday deep sleep, this I thought also disappears. When you go to Sushupti, Ahamvritti also disappears. But when you wake up, the first thing that emerges out is Ahamvritti. So this Ahamvritti, even without this Ahamvritti, I am there. Even without this Ahamvritti, Shuddha Chit, Chaitanya is there. So this Ahamvritti is a Vikalpa. So even the existence of I, that I thought, is unbearable to the truth. So the truth remains devoid of I, you, he, everything. It is Shuddha Chaitanya, Shuddha Bodha Swabhava. Prakriti Vikriti Bhinna Shuddha Bodha Swabhava. Prakriti is sleep. Vikriti is Jagrat and Swapana. Devoid of Jagrat, Swapana and Sushupti, that Shuddha Chaitanya, pure consciousness, is shining forth. That is me. And I am seeing you, this is Jagrat. With the senses, solid things. It is Jagrat. And there is an idea about all of you inside me. Without that idea, no use. So when I am seeing Narayanan, when I am seeing Swamiji, when I am seeing Aditi or somebody, there is an idea behind that. That idea is Swapana. It is Swapana, Swapanika Sharira. And for that idea to form, the knowledge of the self should be covered. Just like without covering the rope, snake is impossible. You see the snake in the rope because you are not seeing the rope. So not seeing the rope is Nidra, Avarana, Agrahanam. And the Swapana Jagrati is Anyathagrahanam. So first is Agrahanam of one's own real nature, then the Anyathagrahanam, which is confusion. Avarana Vikshepa. So, when all the three, in the waking state, there is only that Shuddha Bodha Swabhava. No Jagrat, no Swapana, no Sushupti. Na Jagrat, na me Swapna Kova Sushuptihi. Na Vishwo, Nava Taijasaha. Prajna Kova. This Vishwa is, this body. If you click the camera and show me this is your photo, that is Jagrat. You can never take photo of me, the Taijasa. The Taijasa is this Aham Vritti inside. I have an idea. And that idea cannot be caught in a photograph. About me, I that dream movement inside me, which says I have studied this, I belong to this place, this is my father, this is my mother, and my identity inside, that is Swapanika. That is not physical reality. Physical reality is comparatively very simple. That it lives here and it dies here. But the Swapanika Sharira, it continues. So that Swapanika Sharira is also not truth. In deep sleep it disappears, and the deep sleep is also not truth. It also covers that pure Turiya Vastu. So Trayanam Turiyaha Tadeko Vasishta Shiva, that alone remains, that fourth one. So that Atma, Shuddha Chaitanya, Swarupa Avabodha, that is my truth. So this he said in the Daśaśloki. And after that, Sankaracharya remained with Govinda Bhagavad Pada. What is his age now? 8 years old. Just imagine that. 8 years old boy, Brahmachari, living with a great sage. It is not a wonder. Many, even now, there are very intelligent small boys. Those who have that kind of knowledge, that kind of power, Medha Shakti. So, that is, although rare, it occurs. We call them prodigies. But many cases, after some years, they will not be there. Just like this tortoise rabbit story. The rabbit is very fast, but the tortoise wins. In educational system also it is found. Sometimes some children, they are very intelligent in their childhood. We will think they are like Sankaracharya, they are like some great music, etc. also we can see. But if it is not continued, if persistence is not there, it will go. It will just become dull. And some tortoise will come forth as slowly Dirghakala Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Dridabhumihi, slowly acquiring Shanaihi as Gita says, like that. So anything that you have not attained by real effort, like tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tad nishtaha, tad parayanaha, if that is not applied, what just comes like this is, it's a gift from former birth. But if you do not pour forth your shraddha, your life, you need a way of life, not simply some glimpse. People come to Tiruvannamalai and suddenly becomes enlightened. That is not falsehood. They sit in Bhagwan Samadhi or somewhere, suddenly they get a glimpse and you will feel they have got it. They have got it, a glimpse they have got. But that will not stay. Because the body mind is not prepared. And there is no way of life. Your way of life is different. You got this. So you need a patram, a way of life. You need a life which can hold that jnanam. That is why Sankaracharya said, Asampradaya with sarvashastra vidabhi Murkhavadupekshaniyaha sarvatra. If he has not come in the sampradaya, the tradition, even if he has learnt everything, he should be ignored like a fool. So, hence, Acharya Shankara went in search of a sampradaya acharya who has come in the sampradaya of Narayana, Padmabhuva, Vasishta, Shakti, Tatputra, Parashara, Vyasa, Shuka, Gaudapada. So, to light the lamp from the pure source, pure sampradaya, he went there, and there he got this jnanam from Brahmanishta. He stayed there with Govinda Bhagavatpada, and Govinda Bhagavatpada was very old when Sankaracharya went there. We have already told that a great sage came to Kaladi and he told that Govinda Bhagavatpada is waiting for you. And he has told that sage that I am waiting for a boy to come to me, who is the incarnation of Shiva. So, now Govinda Bhagavatpada's karma is over. So, he remained all his time in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. He was a Sahaja Brahmanishta. See, Bhagavan's life both was there. Without Bhagavan's life, we cannot interpret this. Formerly, Bhagavan used to spend most of his time in that absorption. In Virupaksha, Skandashrama, there he used to remain absorbed. Eyes will be open, no movement, Nishala. He will be in that Nirvikalpaka Samadhina Sputam Brahmatattvam Avagamyate Dhruvam. As in Yogataravali he says, Vishrantim asadya turiya talpe Vishwadyavastha tritayo paristhe. He rests in that couch of Turiya, in the fourth state, not in the Jagrat, Swapna or Sushupti. So, Sankaracharya was constantly spending his time in, he also was absorbing in that majestic experience that he had. You know, Vedanta says, what is this Atmanubhuti? Vishishtanubhuti, he said. The Anubhuti is already there with everybody. Everyone is experiencing I am. Even if you sit in a dark room, you know you exist, I am. And that Anubhuti, when the mind is turned towards that, Buddhi is turned towards that, you are holding it with great attention inside, then you know what a majesty it is. Praudha praudha nijanubhuti galita dvaitendra jalo guru. That Guru, all magic is gone from him, illusion is gone from him. The illusion of Maya, Mithya is gone from him. How? Praudha praudha nijanubhuti galita dvaitendra jalaha. That Praudha Nijanubhuti is Atmanubhuti. By again and again merging the intellect, the mind, the senses in Atmanubhuti, the Indrajala has fallen off. Illusion of the world, matter, the unreal is gone. Gudham gudham agaugha dushtakudhiyam spashtam sudhishalinam. Bhagavan said Atmanubhuti is very sulabham. Ayye ati sulabham. But people say it is very difficult, very difficult. So here he solves Gudham Gudham Aghauga Dushta Kudhiyam. Those who have their intellect impure due to various flaws, sins. For them, the simple, direct, immediate experience of the self appears to be very, very complex, hidden. Gudham. Spashtam sudhishalinam. Those who have a very pure intelligence, for them it is very spashtam, very clear. Swante samyag ihanubhutam. In the heart it is very well experienced. Api Satshishya Avabodhaya. When a good disciple comes, a mature disciple comes, what does the Guru do? Tat Satyam Samsmritavan. The Satyam which he is himself, he has experienced as his own real nature, he recollects it and tells it. Tat Satyam Samsmritavan Samasta Jagatam Naijam Nija Alokanat. By looking at his own existence, his own nature, he speaks. Thus, he gave that knowledge to Shankara and retired. Govinda Bhagavad was having that Vishrama. At that time, it is Narmada. Narmada will be dancing river. It is Shivalinga Garbha. Narmada is called Linga Garbha. Whenever we do Shiva Puja, the stone we take from Narmada is used as Shivalinga. Narmada Linga. So it is Linga Garbha. She is impregnated with Shivalinga. So that Narmada, it will look very much, very yoga bhumi it is all. That whole area. And the mountain itself will look very beautiful. So there, Narmada was in spate, fled. So the water arose near the cave, and all the nearby villages, they were all in floods. Generally, all these village people, they will come to Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Whenever they have some problem, they will come to Govinda Bhagavad Pada, crying, taking refuge at him. So they all came, but Govinda Bhagavad Pada is now retired, very quiet, not responding. Perhaps he wanted to see what Shankara will do. So they all came and were pouring forth their suffering. Shankara said, do not fear. She is our mother, Narmada. She will obey us. Saying this, he took his kamandala and went to the river bank and kept it there. And did a stuti, just like what he did to Purna Nadi. Like that he did here also. He said to Narmada river, he said, now you become quiet, peaceful. Sabindu Sindhu Suskala Taranga Bhanga Ranjitam Dvishat Supapa Jata Jata Karivari Sanyutam Kritanta Duta Kala Bhuta Bhiti Hari Varmade Tvadiya Pada Pangacham Namami Devi Narmade. When you listen to this verse, you can see how the river is flowing. Like that, Tvadambuli Nadina Meena Divya Sampradayakam Kalau Malau Gabharahari Sarvatirthanayakam Sumacha Kachanakra Chakravaka Chakra Sharmade Tvadiya Pada Pangajam Namami Devi Narmade Mahagabhira Nira Pura Papa Dhuta Bhutalam Namat Samasta Patakari Darita Padachalam Jagallaye Mahabhaye Mrikandu Sunu Harmyade Tvadiya Pada Pangajam Namami Devi Narmade. And the water was making so much noise, splashing in the rocks. Aho dhridam swanam shrutam mahesha kesha jatate. That waves are splashing on the rock. He says, oh, aho swanam. That sound, it is just splashing. Ganga, she is in the mahesha kesha, jata. Here, that tata, it is splashing. Kirata Suda Badaveshu Pandite Shate Nate Duranta Papa Tapahari Sarva Jantu Sharmade. You give wellness for all creatures because they are all suffering now. Tvadiya Pada Pangajam Namami Devish Narmade. And Narmada became quiet. Shiva himself is giving the order. So she started going down, became quiet, and the story goes, Sankaracharya caught hold of Narmada in his Kamandala, just like the entire Vedartha was caught hold by his Buddhi. So, the Narmada became quiet. Then, Acharya entered into that samadhi state, withdrawn into himself. The ego returned to its womb. Now we are reading from Ātmatīrtham, Sankaracharya's life. You have this book, you have this book, and if possible, make it reach everywhere. Because Bhagavad-pada's life and teachings, everything is there in Ātmatīrtham. It is there in English, it is there in Tamil, it is there in Malayalam, it is there in Kannada, it is there in Telugu, it is there in Hindi, now in Odissi also. Devotees, they have themselves done it. In French also it is there. In Spanish also it is there. Right? She has done it in Spanish. What? Swedish. Oh, all language same for me. It's in Swedish also it is there. Right? French also it is there. So many languages Bhagavad-pada's life has come. We have to make it reach to devotees. Because you can see a grand life like poetry, uncovered episodes after episodes along with the teaching. So that is, here you see, the ego returned to its womb, the mind vanished in the inner space. Into the ocean of power, the I dissolved. Power that hurts not but heals. Power that radiates protection and love. That omnipotence, infinite peace was revealed. When perception digs its own bosom, when the mind swallows its own self, when the self dives back to the womb, then is the dawn of that infinite being. Who can fathom its depth? The phantom who dived into the fathomless deeps was lost forever. In the ocean of eternity, he gained eternal life by death. Actually, sannyasa is a death, we said. Brahmajnana is true death. No more rebirth of the ego. In the still hours of twilight, the white radiance of the divine within gleamed through the knowing stillness, the stillness which is pure awareness. The mind now rests in perfect repose. Thoughts are hushed to supreme silence. So this is that samadhi sthiti. Bhagavad-pada after this remained with Govinda Bhagavad-pada in that samadhi state for some more days. One day Govinda Bhagavad-pada called Shankara to his side. Shankara stood near him. No, the realization means what? Now we very naturally consider the body as me. Just like that, when you consider the Atma as Brahman as you, that is realization. Dehatma jnanavat jnanam, dehatma jnana badhakam. Atmanyeva bhavedyasya sa nechan api muchyate. In the Upadesha Sahasri, Bhagavad-pada says, even if you desire, I don't want mukti, you will be liberated. If you have this much jnanam, dehatma jnanavat, just have your body awareness, like that, dehatma jnanavat jnanam, dehatma jnana badhakam. Then no more dehatma jnana, no more ignorance that I am the body. Atmanyeva bhavedyasya. His focus, his identity is absolutely in the Atman. Sa necanabi muchyate. He says, I don't want mukti, then also you will be liberated. So that kind of jnana arose, and one day Govinda Bhagavad-pada asked some monks to bring Shankara, because he was remaining in another cave, absorbed in that state. He said, bring him. So they brought him there. Shankara's divine brilliance had an irresistible attraction. The very presence of the young yogi had the power to make mind still. At the same time, his knowledge of the Shastras and his understanding of the path of yoga and upasana were phenomenal. He shone forth as a living illustration of the mantra, Yas Sarvajnaha Sarvavid, as the Shruti says. One day, Govinda Bhagavad Pada called Shankara to his side. Shankara stood near him with great bhakti. The Guru addressed the disciple. See, in the Sannyasa Sampradaya, there is for the Guru, no disciple. The disciple will have that Guru Bhava. But the Guru looks at the disciple also as his own self, not different. So, the Guru calls Swamin. He says, "Oh Swami, for it is customary for sages to address other sannyasis with reverence, irrespective of age. Thou must now start traveling for the benefit of the world." Govinda Bhagavad Pada said, for the Lokakshema, you have to know travel. You have to know. See, Ramakrishna told Vivekananda, Narendra, you have to go and teach. Narendra said, it is not possible for me. I will sit somewhere absorbed in samadhi. Ramakrishna said, the person who says, I cannot teach, is not going to teach. The thing which is within you will teach. It will come out. The teaching will happen through you. You have to be like a banyan tree which gives shade, refuge to everybody. Saying this, like that, Govinda Bhagavad Pada also told, now you must start traveling, impart the essence of the Upanishads and the Gita and the bliss of Atmanubhuti to ardent seekers of truth. So now you have to move. And Sankaracharya, Govinda Bhagavad Pada said, wherever Pavayan Vasudham, wherever you go, the earth will become pure. Wherever your feet touches, the Guru is telling the disciple, wherever your feet touches, that spot will become a Tirtha Kshetra. Because now Dehaiva Drishyate Sau Parantasau Kevalo Hi Atma. He appears like a Dehavan, like a body, but wherever his feet touches, he is Atmavastu, he is Shuddha Chaitanya. So thy mother is indeed blessed. Sharachandra Chakrabarti, when he came to Vivekananda Swami, he chanted this verse. He said, Kulam Pavitram Janani Kritartha Vasundhara Punyavati Chatena Apara Satchit Sukha Sagaresmin Leenam Pare Brahmani Yasya Chetaha. Your Kulam is Pavitram, your mother has attained Kritarthata. For whatever cause she took birth, that is over for her, because her son has attained Brahmajnana. Kulam Pavitram Janani Kritartha Vasundhara Punyavati. The very earth, Bhumi is pure, holy. Avara Satchit Sukhasagaresmin Leenam Pare Brahmani Yasya Chetaha. Saying this, now Govinda Bhagavad Pada said, when worldly men come in contact with the dust of thy feet, their sorrows will come to an end. Who is telling? Guru is telling. Disciple. Whoever at the dust of your feet will, their sorrow will come to an end. You have attained the experience of the self with the destruction of the ego. Now you are Parameshwara Swarupa, Parameshwara himself. Hearing the great master addressing him thus, overwhelmed with devotion, Shankara prostrated to the Guru, Vidyayātārita smo yehi janma mrityu mahodadhim sarvajñebhyo namastebhyo gurubhyo jnana sankulam. By that Vidya, the Guru has made me cross this samsara. Akhandananda sambodho vandanadi yasya jayate govindam tamaham vande Chidananda Tanum Gurum. Simply by doing namaskara to Govinda Bhagavad Pada, one attains Akhandananda Sambodha. Uninterrupted Ananda Sambodha one attains by doing namaskara. So, arthadopi advayanandam atita dvaita lakshanam atma ramamaham vande Shri Gurum Shiva Vigraham. So, this is after Govinda Bhagavad Pada blessing Sankaracharya like this. Then Sankaracharya started moving towards Kāśi as instructed by Govinda Bhagavad Pada. Sankaracharya moved from Narmada Tira, left for Kāśi, and the Guru is very concerned. He knows Shankara is a small boy. He might be a Brahmajnani, but the body is very tender. So he gave instruction to very elderly monks who were with him to follow Shankara, look after him, take care of his bhiksha, every arrangement, and to protect him. So they were all with him. So see, such a great mission, when it happens, everything is taken care of. So like that, they all started, see, you need such company, divine company around you. So they were all following him, accompanied the Acharya. They were all mature sannyasins who had filial affection towards Shankara and were conversant with the ways of the world, such as obtaining bhiksha. So they were all following Sankaracharya. Thus they moved towards Prayaga Kshetra. Now the Kumbh Mela, everybody knows Prayag. So Prayaga Kshetra, no? Now we have made it, again it is Prayaga. Prayagaraja, Tirtharaja. In between it was called Allahabad. Right? Allahabad. Allahabad. So again it is Tirtharaja, Prayaga Kshetra. So in Ramayana also, when Rama is going for the Vanavasa, they reach Prayaga, they hear the water splashing. Kimayam Tumuladvanihi. To Vishwamitra he asks first when they go to that Yaga Raksha. So what is Tumulo Dvanihi? So tumultuous, that word comes from Tumula. In Sanskrit it is Tumulodhvani, and in some English they call it tumultuous sound. So like that. It's all that tulu 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 tulu. One river falls with another river, one stream joins another stream, that merging, that hitting sound, So the Tumuladhvani happens. Yatra bhagirathim gangam yamuna bhipravartate jagmustam deshamuddhishya vigahya sumahadvanam. From Ayodhya, when they were going, crossing a big forest, yatra bhagirathim gangam yamuna abhipravartate. Ganga, into the Ganga, the Yamuna is rushing inward. In that place, Rama went. So, Nunam praptasma sambhedam Ganga Yamunayoho vayam. You read the Ātmatīrtham, Ramayanam also will come. Tathahi shruyate shabdo varino vari gharshajaha. Vari, water has merging into water. So, clashing with water. Yamuna clashing with Ganga. So, Prayaga, you can see, one side the black water of Yamuna comes. In Sankaracharya, when he is doing stuti of Yamuna, he says, Yamuna became black because Krishna was every day taking bath in it. Murari kaya kalima lalamavari dharini trinikrita trivishtapa trilokashoka harini manonukula kula kunja punja dhuta durmada dhunotu me manomalam kalinda nandini sada. Murari kaya kalima. The darkness of Murari is Sharira. Yamuna absorbed it and became black. And Ganga, it is coming from Shiva and he is white. So it is white color. And both are clashing there. So you can see the difference. One side Ganga will be different color, and the other side Yamuna will be different color, the place where they join together. And Saraswati is Antarvahini. The Guru is one thing, the disciple is there, and Jnanam is there, like that. Jnanam is Antarvahini. Guru and disciple are visible, but the experience is Antarvahini, that is Saraswati. That is Saraswati. That is why we say Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam. Nara Vyasa. Then Saraswati. Saraswati is Antarvahini. So here, after seeing Prayagadesha, they went to Kāśi. And Kāśi Kshetra, by the time all these monks were there, then they were all very great sannyasis who were following Shankara. And everywhere, wherever he went, very cultured people were all clustering around. They were looking at the radiance of this young sage. It's not that you cannot hide a splendorous light inside a pot. Like that, wherever he went, people were there, forming around him. All saints were there, sannyasis were there, everyone were coming there. So, in Prayagadesha also some sadhus, they started following them. Because they were, of course they were seeing Sankaracharya, but they knew Govinda Bhagavad Pada, and all these great old disciples of Govinda Bhagavad Pada are there. So they thought they will be teaching. Like that, they followed them. Like that. So they all were entering Kāśi, and Kāśi also people came to know that some great group of monks are coming, saints are coming. So Kāśi they entered. Kāśi was entirely different from the forest regions of Omkareshwara. Omkareshwara is full of forest, and the Vindhyachala they crossed and came to Prayag, that also is all forest. So it is the Panchakosha Kshetra between Asi and Varuna. This is Kāśi. When you go to Kāśi, one side is Asi Ghat, another side is Varuna Ghat. Varuna river and Asi. Asi Varunayoho Madhye Panchakrosham Mahattaram. That is Kāśi Kshetra. So there they went, and all the Devatas, everyone is there in Kāśi, in the Maṇikarṇikā Ghat. They went. Shankara is only now 10 year or 11 year old. So you can just imagine with this, okay, we can imagine with the Dandaka Mandala, everything, with Kāśaya Vastra, the radiant figure. He looked at Kāśi and said, Kāśi Dhanyatama Vimukta Nagari. He said, oh, blessed is this Kāśi, Salankrita Gangaya. And she is decorated with Ganga. Salankrita Gangaya Tatreyam Maṇikarṇikā Sukakari. Where should we stay? We will stay in Maṇikarṇikā Ghatta. Muktirihi tat kinkari. For a person who has known his own self, Jivan Mukti is ever available. It's kinkari. Mukti Sukha is there. Swarlokastulita sahaiva vibudhaihi Kāśya samam brahmana Kāśi kshonidale sthita. Swarga is somewhere else. Kāśi is there in Bhumi, in earth. Gurutara Swargo Lagutvam Gataha. That Swarga becomes Laghu. So they stayed in Kāśi, and Kāśi, the king of Kāśi, also came to see Sankaracharya. The king invited the group. Bhagavad Pada glowed as if inwardly lit with an ethereal light. When the king wanted them to visit, Sankaracharya said to one sannyasi, Sarvajnanendra Swami. See, initially we were wondering how forest dwellers like us would be able to stay in a crowded city like Kāśi. But here we feel an unconditional inner joy. The peace felt in the forests of Omkareshwara, was of course profound, whereas in this Kāśi there is an undercurrent of peace which is simple and effortless. Many saints, they were all fascinated. Even Buddha started this teaching in Kāśi. First he was in Gaya, then he came to Kāśi. Sankaracharya also started there. And so many saints, they did tapasya there. They were all fascinated by Kāśi. So, Kāśyam hi kāshate Kāśi. Very mysterious verse. Kāśyam hi kāshate Kāśi. Kāshate means shines. This coin, 10 paise, 15 paise, that was informally 25 paise. They will say Kāśi. In Tamil it is called Kāśi. Kāśi means coin. Why it is called Kāśi? Because it shines. Somewhere it is lying down, it shines. That rupee note will not shine. So Kāśi, prakasha. That Kāśi is the dhatu. So kāshate. And what shines forth? The Atma shines forth in Kāśi. Kāśyam hi kāshate Kāśi. When you are in Kāśi, Atma shines forth. Sa Kāśi viditayena. And another condition Sankaracharya says, those who have known that inner Kāśi, tena prapta hi Kāśika. Only he has come to Kāśi. So this is the condition. Simply by catching hold of a train or take a flight from Chennai to Varanasi. One of our known person, he went to Kāśi every month for 3-4 months to take textile business. And when I said, did you see Vishwanath Darshanam you had? No, that is in Kāśi. I went to Varanasi, he said. So, na prapta Kāśika. After going so many times, didn't know that Kāśi Varanasi is same. Because in railway station it is put Varanasi. So, only when you knowingly go there. Tiruvannamalai also, many people do not know what is the speciality of Tiruvannamalai. About 25 years back, when we had a construction of a house, that Upanishad Bhavan, we bought a couch. And a couch was brought there. And that person looked at Ramana Bhagwan's photo and asked, his photo is seen everywhere, who is he? I thought, you don't belong to the... No, he said, I was born and brought up here. He's a Muslim, no idea about this. Because he didn't identify with it. So even to know the Tirtha Kshetra, there should be some qualification. So, Kāśyam hi kāshate Kāśi. Kāśi sarva prakashika. That Atma Kāśi, it illumines the entire world. Atma is the light with which tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. By its light, sun, moon, stars, everything is illumined. Sa Kāśi viditayena. When you know that Kāśi, you have come to Kāśi. Bhagavan used to say, Arunachala is yourself. When you know yourself, you have seen Arunachala. That is real seeing of Arunachala. Kandavan yavanana karutti nunnada kandavan indridan indradu kandeen. How to see Arunachala? Vinnadiya vilakkum, kannadiya purikkum, kannam mana kannukkum, kannam vinnam mana விண்ணுக்கும் விண்ணாய் ஒரு பொருள் வேறு எண்ணாதிருந்தபடி உள்நாடு உளத்து ஒளிரும் அண்ணாமலை என் ஆன்மா காணுமே அருளும் வேணுமே அன்பு பூணுமே இன்பு தோணுமே ஐயே அதிசுலபம் ஆத்மவித்தை. You have bhakti, it becomes simple. You have bhakti, you get his kripa, grace. Then you are able to see. When you see your own Atma, you know what is Arunachala. Hridi ahamiti nrityasi bhoste vadanti hridayam nama. Tvai arunachala sarvam bhutva stitva pralinam. Bhagavan says, Arunachala, in you the entire creation arises, in you the entire creation remains, and to you everything goes back. And what is that Arunachala? Is it simply the hill only? Hill is the outer form. And the inner form is, it is Satchidananda Swarupa. Satchitananda. That is Arunachala. Irundu Olir, as in Tamil he says, it is existence, effulgence. That effulgence is there in the heart. When you know that, you have really arrived in Tiruvannamalai. Otherwise, this is only Gaunam. Outward coming is only Gaunam. About Brahmins, there is a word in Bhashyam. Sankaracharya says, till a person realizes Brahman, he is only a Gauna Brahmana. Tavad Gaunamasya Brahmanyam. Only when he knows Brahman in the right way, he becomes Brahmana. So, Pandityam Nirvidya Balyena Tishtaset, Balyam cha Nirvidya Munihi, Maunam cha Amaunam cha Nirvidya Brahmana. The Shruti says, then he becomes Brahmana. So, like that, this Kāśi Kshetra is, Sankaracharya says, it is Atma is Kāśi. You can just imagine a very great big banyan tree on the bank of Ganga in Kāśi. There Bhagavad-pada said, if you go to Kāśi and inquire the people who knows the place, someone will tell, but you will not find that banyan tree, etc. now. But this is somewhere Sankaracharya stayed, etc. So, sitting under a very huge banyan tree in the Maṇikarṇikā Ghatta, Bhagavad-pada started explaining, talking on the Upanishads. And who were the listeners? All renunciates. Tyaga Vairagya Sampannaha. All with Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutva, Sarva Sangha Virakta. All that saints were around him, and the Jivan Mukta, though perceives this city with all its diversity, such as people and their activities, market, everything, he does not see anything apart from the self. This comes in the Jivan Mukta Ananda Lahari. He is in the Jivan Mukti Ananda Lahari. So the Shruti says, what does he see? He is also seeing everything, people, market, all noise, everything. But the Shruti says he is seeing only the Atman. Athada Ātmādesha eva Ātmaivādhastad Ātmoparishtad Ātma Paśyād Ātma Purastad Ātma Dakshinatah Ātmottarata Ātmaivedam Sarvamiti Sa evam Sava Esha evam Pashyan evam Manvana evam Vijanan Ātmaratihi Ātmakrīda Ātmamithuna Ātmanandaha Saswarad Bhavati Tasya Sarveshu Lokeshu Kamacharo Bhavati. As the Chandogya Shruti says, he looks at everything as Atman, Atmaivedam Sarvam. Whatever is seen, it is all the self only, nothing, it is all Shuddha Chaitanya, Bhagavat Swarupa. Tasya va etasyevam pashyatah evam manvanasya evam vijanatah atmatah prana atmata asha atmata smara atmata akasha atmatasteja atmata apa atmata avirbhavatiro bhavo atmato nam atmato balam atmato vijnanam atmato dhyanam atmatashittam atmatasankalpah atmato mana atmato vag atmato nama atmato mantraha atmatah karmani atmata evedam sarvamiti. Thus, looking at everything as Atman, the Jivan Mukta lives, and he started like a Vedanta Kokila. Like a Kokila. Kokila, what will say? Cuckoo. It started singing that song of Atma Vidya, declaring that the entire world is Atman, Shuddha Chaitanya. So thus, happily, blissfully, Shankara was living in Kāśi, And so many people came to see him in Kāśi Kshetra. And Kāśi Kshetram, he says, this Shariram itself is Kāśi. Kāśi Kshetram Shariram Tribhuvana Janani Vyapini Jnana Ganga Bhakti Shraddha Gayeyam Nijaguru Charana Dhyāna Yoga Prayagaha Vishveshoyam Turiya Sakala Janamana Sakshi Bhutontaratma Dehe Sarvam Madiye Yadi Vasati Punaha Tirtham Anyat Kimasti. And seeing Ganga also, he was just inundated. Sakala Kalusha Bhange Swarga Sopana Sange Tarala Taratarange Devi Gange Prasida. That portion we will slowly move. We will see tomorrow. Ito mama atma bhavasitveva tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti yathataveshtam kurumam tatheva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajami. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva.